65 years ago, Diana King welcomed 8 students to a campus in Western Pennsylvania. And each year we got more campers after that. And then in 1980, we moved to our New York campus. This year we would have started on a new campus in Kent, Connecticut, but we'll plan for that next year. Right now, I am so happy that we can continue Dunnabeck for a 65th year of learning and fun. And I welcome you to Dunnabeck 2.0. We are a community of folks who learn differently.
It's a camp for students with dyslexia. And what we do is provide tutoring to help with the summer slide in Orton-Gillingham. It's a multi-sensory approach, in addition to other activities that are hands-on and where we find these kids can really shine.
The best thing for me about Dunnabeck is how the teachers teach you that normal schools don't. They have techniques that you wouldn't find anywhere else except certain places like Dunnabeck. It's been helping me a lot, and they really know what they're doing.
When Sergey first went to Camp Dunnabeck, I remember Jeremy Robbins, who was there at the time, speaking to the parents, and he said, "Your child will come back a different kid." And I thought, that can't be possible. And it was. His vocabulary had just kind of exploded. He had tried so many different new things, so his confidence had built up. He had been around other kids who were just like him. And he embraced the fact that he learns differently. And that was okay.
First time I realized that I learned differently than some of my peers was 4 years ago when I just started middle school. It started to get challenging. And then I saw everybody else like increasing, reading perfectly, but I was a little behind. I was not a little, but quite behind them. And then once we went to Camp Dunnabeck, I started to improve over the years. Now I saw that I'm actually higher than the peers in my classroom right now.
Those weeks and months that are lost in the summer were not lost for Sergey. He read, he learned more, he learned about himself. And that was just an amazing thing to get from the teachers when September came around and they said, "What has Sergey been doing this summer?" It really made a difference. And that made us all feel very happy and very proud.
A kid at Dunnabeck can make as much progress or more in 6 weeks than if he were in a program for a full year.
CHBUN.
Good.
I keep on making longer and longer paragraphs.
It's true. It's so true. How does that feel?
Good.
It's awesome. I'm so proud of you.
Love say. I love to say.
It's not say, it's K.
Great.
Where's
Waldo? Welcome to the game show where I tell you how to spell stuff.
Here we go. Okay, Eloise, here we go.
E-F.
If that says pat, show me tap.
The tutors break down this monumental task of converting sound into letters, being able to decode random symbols and turning it into something that the child can access. So the tutors take language down to these finite little pieces, and it's like climbing a mountain. You don't just jump to the top, you climb it one step at a time.
This year, as we were planning to we're moving campuses to Kent, Connecticut, Marvelwood campus. And because of COVID, we were not able to hold a camp in session in person. So with my background as an educational technologist, was able to put together an online model, which still holds on to the same tenets of remediating for kids with dyslexia, but also providing skills that they can work on more tailored to an online experience. So rather than being able to take something like woodworking, we're looking at more of building virtual worlds, programming, 3D modeling, things that can adapt well online, but also still be really valuable skills that these kids can work on and develop.
I learned a lot from each and every one of my students. When we first talked about creative writing and virtual world building, we were a little concerned that the topic material might be too advanced. And boy, did the students teach us differently. I'm going to start with creative writing first.
Hi, I'm Jacob Fine, and today I'll be reading you my trailer of my book called The Secrets of the Wild. Do you ever wonder if animals have a secret language like ours?
And Jacob, I imagine if people want to read your story, would you make it available to them?
In time, yes.
He actually completed a full short story. And using the wonderful tools that he learned in Molly's class.
We're in film class!
So Jacob and Joshua did some really excellent work. They not only learned the foundations of documentary filmmaking, they learned pre-production, they learned production, and they learned post-production.
In the filmmaking class, I learned how to edit. I learned how to move stuff around, and I kind of figured out how, in these movies, how to do it.
I have accomplished making a movie, which I wanted to do my whole life, and I finally did it. I made a documentary.
In virtual world building, what we have to do, they actually have to draw a map. And so it's a 2D spatial map where they can look down on it and see what the region is, almost as if they were a satellite from Google Earth and look down on those coordinates. And both Mika and Lyndon did such an amazing job doing that together. And what I loved about that class time, because they were in the same time slot, is the teamwork.
It's challenging. It actually challenges you. And also, it doesn't judge you about anything. Call it the upside down world.
So going from Dunnabeck, the physical location, to an online model, it was really important to still keep the heart of the camp. It's about community.
When you come to Dunnabeck, everybody shares that same feeling, like, oh, I found my family. I found my kind.
The community that we're building, we want to create immersive, collaborative spaces and get to know each other and become friends.
They did a really great job this year with a virtual world to make it feel like you were at camp, going to the different places.
Okay, so here I am. Can you see the screen, everyone?
Yep.
And it's me, it's the right screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so here I am at Camp Dunnabeck, and I'm waving. And I'll walk towards the bonfire and the social area. So you don't realize how connected you get to people in a virtual environment until you actually stand there with an avatar. So you really do create that social connection. And so if you're feeling a little disconnected with all that's been going on, this is a great way to kind of resolve that.
I'm sure they all missed the horses and the whitewater rafting and going for hikes and mountain biking. The deal used to be, who wouldn't do an hour or two of schoolwork to go whitewater rafting? I would sign up for that any day. So I hope it's back in place next summer, but we'll see.
And I think we'd all prefer to be there in person, but when you don't have that other option, when you can't afford to get there, when you can't travel that far, this is something that's going to really extend that reach of accessibility and make it a lot easier for people to get these kinds of services.
I was on a Facebook group for parents of children with dyslexia, and it was recommended through that group. Someone's daughter had gone last year and had really great results. They had gone in person last year, so I know it's further away from where we live. We live in Boston, but I started looking into if there was the possibility of remote, which there was, so it opened up the opportunity to us.
That is a perfect complex sentence. I am so excited about this.
I think she was really nice how she went out to go out and think of certain ways to help me learn.
It was a great experience for Zariah.
Yes, it was.
And really exciting for me as a parent to see how much she grew and her confidence grew.
I'm looking forward to learning more about those reading so I can get better at it.
Yay!
The riddle for the day.
That's a green screen in the background eating.
There he is.
Practice that trick where people drink.
As we're bridging some concerns about how this format would work, she used to say, when anyone questioned how to teach, she used to say, "Give me a stick and a sandy beach, and I can teach a child to read." And I think the analogy works well here too, and because I think we've really made some successes this summer.
Last time, well, it ain't no doubt, it's Camp Dunnabeck, night out.